Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about this situation with the medrunners. Okay. Now, if you guys notice, I'm wearing the same shirt as in the last video because this is just a straight up continuation. But yeah, you guys may have seen a video circulating around, kind of talking about this org called the medrunners and this guy who had a bad experience in the org. Okay, and right here in front of me I have the org's website pulled up. Now, the org, the medrunners, is a medical org. They go and they rescue people who have put up beacons. Now, they are what I would call a semi-hardcore RP org, which essentially means that the gameplay that they engage with is focused around kind of taking the game very seriously, and kind of the way that the org needs to operate is that they need a lot of members so they can respond to a lot of emergencies. So really, a lot of people are attracted to this kind of gameplay, medical gameplay, going in, rescuing other players than the other. And kind of the issues, well, I want to talk about kind of what the guy highlights in his video, and I will link his video in the video description. I don't want to show it here because it's another content creator's content, and if you guys want to see it, again, I will link it in the video description so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But I don't really want to play another content creator's content in the background. I just kind of want to talk about what he's talking about in his video. Now, he highlights some issues that he had with the org, and a lot of it stems from kind of management. And if you go and you look at the comments under that video, a lot of people who left the org kind of commented and was saying that a lot of the points that he brings up is true, that the issues with management kind of stem from their seriousness. Really what a lot of other players saw was, you know, members of the medrunner org kind of just standing at outposts waiting for a beacon to kind of jump into action. And what a lot of people struggle with is they really like the concept of the org. As you can see here, this is a very nicely made website. You know, you have this graphic here. A lot of people are a big fan of the armor set. You know, these look like, you know, serious medical professionals. They have had, you know, a whole org trailer, and they've been kind of highlighted from some other YouTubers like Space Tomato, Hubnet, Imperial Geographic. And this looks like something that would be exciting for somebody to get into. And so, you know, a new player or somebody who wants to join org would get involved, and they would realize that it takes a lot of commitment, and there's benefits. You can, of course, have fun playing with, you know, other people in an org doing a profession that you're interested in. But if you're not really interested in hardcore gameplay, it can be there can be some friction. Now, I want to kind of talk about and compare some other orgs that are very successful, or orgs that do things a little bit differently. Now, of course, a lot of people know that Test is the biggest org in Star Citizen right now. And that kind of stems from the fact that they're a very casual org. You can kind of get in, go on Discord, talk with people. If you want to do something, if they want to do what you want to do, then you guys can kind of just team up and take on whatever content you decide to do together. That's kind of the whole ethos of Test, is that they just want to get in and test different things out, try new things, explore, do bounty hunting, do piracy. They do a little bit of everything. The whole point of their org is testing out the game and having fun together. So that is very attractive for a lot of new players, for a lot of veteran players. So they have a big org and they do very well for themselves. Now, that's just kind of on the casual side, but on the more serious side, you have orgs like Avenger Squadron. Avenger Squadron is a very serious kind of hardcore org. You cannot just join Avenger Squadron. You have to defeat someone from Avenger Squadron in a kind of test where you apply to Avenger Squadron, you get in, you do this combat scenario where you have to kind of 1v1 a member from Avenger Squadron, and if you defeat them, then you can join the org. Now, the reason why that's important is because they want all of their members to be at a certain skill level and to have a certain level of commitment for the game. If you're a casual player, you're not really going to fit in with the org like Avenger Squadron because they want to take the game seriously. They want to get in and do the content. Kind of the same thing with Mongol Squad. I talked about them in an earlier video. They want to run the content. They want to get in. They want to do combat. They want to do PvP. They don't want to sit around and talk about their day. Okay. So you really have to understand the culture of an org before you join it. Now, just based on this website, medrunners culture is not overly apparent. So you're kind of just drawn in by kind of the flashy armor and the marketing of the org, but you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. Now, kind of a good example of the balance that can be found in a larger org like this is Skunk Works, led by Citizen Kate. I know a lot of you might know her from her YouTube videos, but she recently booted like I think a few hundred members from Skunk Works because they were not active enough. Now, Skunk Works is kind of a semi-hardcore org. They run events and they kind of expect you to get involved. They want you to get involved, I would say. I wouldn't really say expect. I don't know. I'm not a member of that org. I don't know what the culture is like. But basically, they do events and they want their members to be involved. They want them to be engaged. Again, if you're not engaged with an org or a group of people, there's kind of no reason to be there. So, but to kind of maintain the culture in the org, what she really did was she split it up into different squads. So you have like the raccoon squads and different squads that have different leaders, and this gives the ability for members in the org to rise in the ranks of the org and get more responsibility. So you may start off as kind of just like a ground combat a ground combat person, and then you get promoted to a ship gunner, and then you get promoted to a ship pilot, and then you get promoted to a captain, and then you get promoted to a squad leader. There is kind of a path to progress through the org and feel like you're more important and that you're doing more in the org. And it also gives Kate the ability to kind of focus her content, because at the end of the day, she's a content creator, and she needs when she wants to be able to play with like a smaller group of people, she has her more smaller squad that she can do that with. And then when she wants to do big org battles or jump town or Xeno threat, she can get everybody together and they can kind of get organized. It's dividing up a larger org into squadrons, in my opinion, is better. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this is just my advice, I think Medrunner should kind of split up into different squadrons. You have kind of like a core squadron that kind of does their thing, and then you let other captains take on a different groups. So maybe you have a hardcore group, maybe you have a casual group, maybe you have an emergency response group, because medrunner is growing fast because their marketing has honestly been very successful. So in my opinion, I think if they decided to say, okay, we have a emergency response team, and this team is essentially a hardcore team, so they need to get paid. So if you call the emergency response team like the hardcore team, then you have to pay. But if you call like the not so emergency response team, like you don't care if you have to wait, you're just kind of chilling there, you just want somebody to pick you up. Essentially, maybe you're not even injured, maybe your ship just blew up and you're stranded on a planet, you can wait. So you call medrunners and you're like, hey guys, can you pick me up? I have a little leg injury maybe, but it's nothing serious. The medrunners can take their time and get out to you and pick you up, and maybe you can have a more casual team handle that, led by a more casual command system. Okay, so in my opinion, I think the medrunners should just take a page out of Citizen Kate's book and do what Skunk Works did and just kind of split up into different squads. So maybe you have the heavy emergency squadron, the casual squadron. Again, I'm not a member of medrunners, not a member of Skunk Works. This is just basically what I've seen going on, and I like the concept of medrunners. I think the armor is good. I think we need an org like medrunners in the game. I think the kind of philosophy about, you know, orgs existing entirely outside of the game, I mean, that's just kind of like an issue with the game. That's something that CIG needs to address. Players have been saying it for a long time right now. We need better org tools in game. I don't know what that could look like though. I know a lot of other people have made a lot of other suggestions about different permissions, having a org bank account. Like what a lot of org leaders would do is that they will just get a second account and they will kind of share this account with other players. Other players can send money to this account, and it just makes it a lot easier to manage things. Maybe, you know, there are org ships on this account, so if somebody wants to jump on that account, they can do the ship. I know orgs have been asking CIG for ship for missions. So let's say you have somebody in org that you want to be the pilot, somebody that you want to be the cargo, and if you're able to share the permission of your ship, then that means that somebody else can take your ship and sell the cargo off of it, and it won't be considered stolen cargo. In my opinion, that's kind of a feature that should be easy. That should be very easy to do for CIG. But you know, they just have to work on the UI for that, and the background tech to be able to implement that. But that's a critical tool that orgs have been asking for a long time, to be able to trade, and even for like different mining orgs to be able to sell from the mining ship and share that. But yeah, org bank account, different permissions, different org member roles. These are all like kind of, I would say, the three key features just right off the top of my head that players have been asking for a long time, that would go a really long way to just making the community's life a lot easier when it comes to orgs. But again, my advice to medrun is kind of just split up into different squads. They're getting a lot of bad press right now. I think that guy's video is at like 25,000 views. People are really disappointed to hear this, because you know, the medrunners, they have done really good work in the past before. I've seen them in the verse, kind of helping people out, and And that's what this community was kind of started on, helping people out. So, you know, I wish the best for the med runners. I don't know who the leadership is. I don't know if they're going to see this video, but yeah, they're getting a lot of bad press right now, but I don't think it's beyond the point of no return. I absolutely think that the leadership at the org can, you know, make some new decisions and kind of restructure it. Again, their marketing was very successful and they blew up very fast. A lot of people wanted to get in the org, but they didn't realize how serious they would need to be. It's not in my opinion, it doesn't look like a casual org. So if you want to join it, you gotta know that you gotta be in there to help them out. Okay, but you know, let me know what you guys think. What org tools do you think CIG should add to the game to make it better? I want to hear from you guys. This is a theory crafting channel, so your ideas are kind of at the core of what we do here. Share them with me. I want to hear them. But yeah, that's going to be it from this video. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Salud.